Ladies and gentlemen, all right, I need you to stop and think for a second. When was the last time you actually asked yourself, am I living the life I truly want? I'm not talking about just getting by or following the crowd. I'm talking about living with intention, where every move you make, every decision, and every action is purposeful. Listen, too many of us go through the motions, getting up, doing what we think we're supposed to do, and going to bed without ever truly asking ourselves if we're on the path we're meant to be on. But what if I told you there's a way to break that cycle? A way to wake up every single day with a sense of direction, knowing exactly where you're headed and why you're going there. If you're tired of living by accident and ready to live by design, you've got to stick with me here, because I'm about to show you how to live with purpose, and trust me, it's a game changer. You won't want to miss this, so stay with me. To live with intention, the first thing you must do is figure out your why. It's the foundation of everything. If you don't know why you're doing something, it's easy to get lost in the chaos of life. Think of it like driving a car. If you don't know your destination, you're just driving aimlessly. You might end up somewhere, but chances are it won't be where you actually want to be. Your why is what gives your life direction. It gives you something to strive for, something to wake up for every morning. Without it, you're just going through the motions. Knowing your why is like finding the root of your passion, the core of what truly matters to you. It's more than just vague ideas like, I want to be successful or I want to be happy. Those are nice, but they lack substance. Your why needs to be specific and personal to you. It's the reason behind everything you do, the driving force that pushes you to keep going even when things get tough. Without that clear reason, you'll find yourself easily distracted, pulled in a million different directions by outside influences or pressures. The world will throw all kinds of opportunities, distractions, and expectations at you, but if you don't have your why figured out, you'll waste your energy on things that don't matter, things that won't take you closer to your true purpose. Take a moment and ask yourself, what truly drives me? What makes me excited to get out of bed every day? This might be related to your career, your personal values, your family, or something you're deeply passionate about. Maybe it's helping others, building something meaningful, or finding personal growth. Your why doesn't have to be grand or complicated. In fact, the most fulfilling whys are often simple and deeply rooted in your core value. When you know your why, every action you take, every decision you make becomes clearer. You'll begin to evaluate everything you do against that purpose. Does this help me fulfill my why? Is this action aligned with the person I want to become? Now, think about this. If you don't know your why, it's impossible to have clarity. You'll be bouncing from one thing to the next, trying to find fulfillment in all the wrong places. Without purpose, it's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others or chasing what society tells you is important. That's why so many people feel lost or unsatisfied, even though they seem to have everything they need. They've been chasing someone else's why. They've been living based on someone else's definition of success. But when you get crystal clear on your own why, you stop following someone else's path and you start creating your own. The moment you define your own purpose is the moment you take control of your life. Living with intention requires you to sit down, dig deep, and ask yourself some hard questions. What truly matters to you? What are you willing to work for, even when it's hard? What makes you feel alive? It's not always easy to uncover this, but it's worth every bit of effort. Once you find your why, you'll have a sense of direction that makes decision-making easier. Every choice will become more intentional. You'll be able to say no to the things that don't align with your purpose and yes to the things that do. Life will start to feel less like a series of random events and more like a journey towards something greater. When your why is clear, you start living with a purpose. Your goals become more focused and your actions become more deliberate. It's like having a roadmap for your life. Without it, you're just wandering around hoping you'll end up where you want to be. But with your why as your guide, everything you do from the smallest tasks to the biggest decisions is intentional and aligned with your greater purpose. You will have the clarity you need to build a life that reflects what truly matters to you. The beauty of living with intention is that it frees you from the trap of external validation. When you know your why, you stop looking for approval from others or trying to meet their expectations. Your fulfillment doesn't come from comparing yourself to the next person or chasing after what society says is success. It comes from within. It comes from knowing you are on the right path for you, living a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. When you live intentionally, you realize that you don't need external rewards or recognition to feel fulfilled. You already have everything you need because you are following the path that is true to you. But here's the catch. Knowing your why isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process, a journey. Sometimes your why evolves as you grow, and that's okay. Life isn't static, and neither is your purpose. The key is to keep checking in with yourself, keep asking those questions, and keep reevaluating what truly matters. Every day, your why should inspire you to take action. It should fuel you, challenge you, and drive you to become the best version of yourself. It's the spark that lights your fire and keeps you moving forward even when the road gets tough. So, take the time to discover your why. It's the foundation of everything. When you live with intention, knowing your purpose will guide your every step. You'll stop wasting time, stop feeling lost, and start building a life that is truly your own. Because at the end of the day, the most fulfilling life isn't one that's lived by accident, it's one that's lived with purpose. And that starts with knowing your why. Once you know your why, the next crucial step in living with intention is setting clear goals. Having a purpose is important, but without goals, your purpose remains just a thought, a great idea with no tangible path forward. Goals give your intention structure. They transform your why into something actionable. Without goals, you're simply hoping for change rather than actively making it happen. Goals provide a roadmap to your dreams and ambitions. They take that big vision and break it down into smaller, achievable steps. Setting clear goals helps you focus your energy. Without them, life can feel like a whirlwind of distractions, and it's easy to feel like you're working hard but getting nowhere. Think about it. If you're not clear on what you're aiming for, you might find yourself drifting from one thing to another, constantly reacting to the demands of the moment rather than being proactive. But with specific goals in mind, every action you take becomes a step in the right direction. Instead of feeling like you're just trying to keep up with life, you're actively shaping your future. The key to setting effective goals is making sure they are both clear and measurable. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful or I want to be healthier. Those are too vague. What does success look like for you? What specific steps can you take to get there? What does health mean to you on a practical level? These are the questions that turn abstract ideas into tangible objectives. For instance, rather than saying, I want to be successful, break it down. I want to increase my income by 20% this year, or I want to become a published author by the end of next year. These goals are specific, measurable, and give you a clear direction to follow. Goals are also about creating a vision of the future that excites you. If you don't have a strong, motivating reason to pursue a goal, it's easy to lose momentum. The more specific your goals, the more motivating they become. You'll know exactly what you're working toward, and the clearer your path is, the more energized and inspired you'll be to keep going. A well-defined goal helps you cut through the noise and distractions that life throws at you. It keeps you focused on what matters. Setting goals also allows you to track your progress. When you don't have clear markers for success, it's easy to get discouraged, thinking that nothing is changing. But when you break your goals into smaller, measurable steps, you can look back and see how far you've come. This is incredibly motivating. It's easy to feel like you're not getting anywhere when the destination is far off, but when you set smaller goals along the way, you celebrate each victory, no matter how small. Each step forward is a reason to be proud, and it keeps you going when things get tough. Additionally, goals help you manage your time better. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, you'll be able to prioritize your actions more effectively. You'll learn to say no to the things that aren't aligned with your goals, and you'll stop wasting time on activities that don't move you closer to where you want to be. Living with intention isn't just about being busy, it's about being productive. It's about making sure that everything you do is aligned with your vision for your life. Without clear goals, you're likely to find yourself overwhelmed by 1,000 competing priorities, none of which will help you get any closer to your dreams. The process of goal setting is also an exercise in self-awareness. It forces you to take a hard look at what you really want out of life and what you're willing to put the work into. It makes you evaluate your values, your priorities, and your true desires. When you set goals that align with your deepest values, you'll find that your sense of fulfillment grows because you're working towards something that truly matters to you. If your goals are rooted in what others expect from you, or if they're based on external validation, they won't bring you the lasting happiness or fulfillment you seek. The most meaningful goals are those that are driven by your personal passions and purpose. However, it's important to remember that goals are not just about the end result. They're also about the process. It's not just about crossing the finish line, it's about the growth and development that happens along the way, the obstacles you face, the lessons you learn, and the person you become in the pursuit of your goals are what truly shape your life. The goals themselves might change over time as you grow, but the journey will always bring you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. And here's the thing, goals help you stay accountable. When you've set something clear, something measurable, you know when you're on track and when you're not. You can check in with yourself regularly to see how you're doing. If you find you're off course, that's a chance to recalibrate, adjust, and keep moving forward. Having goals keeps you honest with yourself. It challenges you to stay focused, disciplined, and committed to your growth. So, if you're going to live with intention, setting goals is a non-negotiable part of the process. It gives your purpose, structure, and direction. It takes your dreams and turns them into reality. By setting clear, actionable goals, you will no longer live life by accident. You'll be on a path that's aligned with your vision, your values, and your deepest desires. And the beauty of this, every step you take toward your goal brings a sense of fulfillment. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish when you live with intention and set clear goals. It's not just about dreaming, it's about doing. And when you start doing, that's when the magic happens. Living with intention also means focusing on what matters most. We live in a world full of distractions. Everywhere we turn, there's something vying for our attention. Social media, emails, people, news, and a never-ending to-do list. It's easy to get swept up in the noise and lose sight of what truly moves the needle in our lives. But to live with purpose, we need to prioritize the things that align with our deeper values, goals, and aspirations. Without focus, you can end up spending your energy on things that don't bring you closer to your real desires. Every day you have a limited amount of time and energy. How you choose to spend it will determine the direction of your life. If you're constantly reacting to external pressures, you'll find yourself drained and directionless. But when you consciously choose where to direct your attention, everything shifts. This means saying no to things that don't serve your bigger vision. It's about being deliberate with your time and not allowing life to push you around. When you focus on what truly matters to you, everything else falls into place. One of the keys to focusing on what matters is understanding your values. What do you value most in life? Is it your family? Is it your career? Is it your health or personal growth? If you don't know your values, it's easy to get sidetracked by things that seem urgent but are ultimately unimportant. When you're clear on what truly matters, you become more effective at making decisions. You begin to ask yourself, is this in line with my values? Does this help me move closer to my goals? And if the answer is no, you can move on quickly without feeling guilty or overwhelmed. The challenge we face today is that we live in a world that constantly tells us to do more. Social media bombards us with images of other people's lives, making us feel like we need to keep up or achieve what others have. But living with intention requires you to block out that noise and focus on your own path. This doesn't mean you don't take inspiration from others, but it does mean you're not letting someone else's success define your worth or your journey. You must trust that your path is just as valuable, just as worthy, and that your focus should be on what's true for you, not what others expect. Another powerful way to stay focused on what matters is to set boundaries. We often feel obligated to say yes to every request, to every favor, to every invitation, because we don't want to disappoint others or miss out. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your values or goals, you're saying no to something else that might be more important. Setting clear boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary for living intent. It's about making sure you reserve your time and energy for the things that will truly help you grow and achieve your goals. It's about not overcommitting and finding balance. And that balance isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a personal choice. And it requires regular assessment of what is truly worth your time and attention. Sometimes it's easy to mistake busyness for productivity. We fill our days with tasks, check off items from our to-do list, and feel accomplished. But are those tasks really moving you closer to your bigger goals? It's important to regularly check in with yourself to evaluate whether the tasks you're working on are truly aligned with your vision. Sometimes we get caught up in the urgent things that feel important, but they may not be what actually moves us forward. To live with intention, you need to make sure that the tasks you are working on reflect your deeper goals. It's about moving beyond surface-level productivity and diving into what actually matters. Living with intention also means having the courage to focus on the long-term picture. We often get distracted by short-term results. Things that feel good in the moment but don't serve us in the long run. For example, we might choose to spend time on activities that give us instant gratification, like scrolling through social media or watching hours of television, instead of dedicating that time to something more meaningful, like learning a new skill, improving our health, or working on a long-term project. These short-term distractions can make us feel like we're accomplishing something, but they won't help us move toward our bigger goals. When you focus on what truly matters, you understand that the things that will bring the most fulfillment require time and effort, and that effort will pay off in ways that the quick fixes never will. To stay focused on what matters, you also need to embrace the idea of simplifying your life. Sometimes we overcomplicate things by trying to do too much or by saying yes to everything that comes our way. Simplifying isn't about doing less. It's about doing less of the things that don't matter and more of the things that do. This might mean decluttering your physical space or letting go of relationships that drain your energy. It might mean reducing the number of tasks on your to-do list and focusing only on the things that truly align with your values. Simplification brings clarity. It allows you to direct all of your energy toward your most important goals and priorities. The most successful people aren't necessarily the busiest or the ones with the most things to do. They are the ones who focus on what truly matters. They prioritize what aligns with their vision, and they say no to distractions that don't support their mission. To live intentionally, you have to be ruthless with your focus. Every day you need to ask yourself, am I investing my time and energy into the things that matter most? If the answer is no, it's time to reevaluate. Focusing on what matters will help you create the life you've always dreamed of. It's about living on purpose, not by accident. The more you focus on what truly matters, the more you'll find that everything else falls into place. When you live with intention, you will always be moving in the direction that aligns with your true self. Living with intention also requires embracing growth and change. One of the most powerful aspects of intentional living is the willingness to evolve. Whether it's learning new things, developing new skills, or becoming a better version of yourself. Growth is essential because life doesn't stand still. The world is constantly shifting, and to truly live with purpose, you must be open to change and personal development. Without growth, you remain stagnant, and stagnation leads to dissatisfaction. When you live intentionally, you acknowledge that growth is a continuous process. It doesn't happen overnight, and it's not always easy, but it's crucial if you want to live a fulfilled life. Growth often comes from stepping out of your comfort zone. If you're always doing the same things, you're not challenging yourself to become better. You're not expanding your potential. Growth requires taking risks, trying new things, and sometimes failing. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end. It's part of the journey. Every failure is an opportunity to learn, improve, and move forward. When you live intentionally, you understand that setbacks are just stepping stones to greater achievements. Living with intention also means being committed to lifelong learning. Whether it's reading books, taking courses, attending seminars, or simply engaging in meaningful conversations with others, learning should be a consistent part of your life. When you make learning a priority, you keep your mind sharp and you equip yourself with the tools and knowledge needed to grow. Learning doesn't have to be formal either. It's about being curious, asking questions, and seeking out new experiences that push you outside your normal routine. The more you learn, the more you realize how much there is to know. And the more you understand, the better equipped you are to make intentional decisions in every area of your life. Another critical part of embracing growth is recognizing the value of discomfort. Change is never comfortable. It's easy to stay in your safe zone, but nothing extraordinary happens there. To grow, you need to push past your fears and uncertainties. It's about being willing to experience discomfort, knowing that it's a sign of progress. When you step outside of your comfort zone, you expose yourself to new opportunities, new people, and new ideas. You might stumble along the way, but that's part of the process. Growth doesn't happen by staying where you are. It happens when you take that first step into the unknown. Living with intention also means being self-aware. You need to take an honest look at where you are in life and where you want to go. Self-awareness allows you to evaluate your strengths, weaknesses, and areas that need improvement. It helps you see the patterns that hold you back and the habits that might be preventing you from reaching your full potential. The more self-aware you are, the better decisions you'll make because you'll have a clear understanding of who you are and what you want. Self-awareness brings clarity, and clarity is the foundation of intentional living. But growth doesn't happen in isolation. It also involves building relationships with people who support your vision and help you grow. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals is essential. When you're around people who are committed to growth, who challenge you to become better, and who push you to aim higher, you become inspired to do the same. These relationships keep you accountable and provide you with a source of encouragement when the road gets tough. You should be selective about the people you allow into your life. The right relationships can be a catalyst for growth, while toxic relationships can drain your energy and hold you back from your potential. As you embrace growth, remember that it's not always about achieving more or being more. Sometimes growth is about letting go of things that no longer serve you, habits, mindsets, or even people. Living with intention means getting rid of the clutter in your life so you can focus on what truly matters. By removing things that are holding you back, you make room for new opportunities and experiences. It's about consciously choosing what to nurture and what to release. Growth isn't just about adding to your life, it's about refining what's already there, shaping yourself into a better version of who you are, and aligning your actions with your value. Living with intention also requires patience. Growth is a long-term process, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's easy to get discouraged when you don't see immediate results, but real change takes time. It's important to trust the process and understand that small, consistent steps will lead to significant progress. It's not about taking giant leaps every day. It's about showing up, putting in the effort, and staying committed to your personal evolution. Eventually, those small steps add up, and before you know it, you become a different person, a person who lives with purpose, a person who has grown in ways that can't be undone. The beauty of embracing growth and change as part of intentional living is that it leads to fulfillment. The process of becoming the best version of yourself is deeply rewarding. It's not about perfection or reaching an endpoint. It's about continuously striving to improve, to evolve, and to embrace the next chapter of your life with excitement. Each stage of growth is meaningful. And when you look back on your journey, you'll realize that every moment, every challenge, and every lesson was an essential part of your development. And most importantly, living with intention means living with purpose, knowing that you're on a path of growth that aligns with who you are and who you want to become. Living with intention also involves embracing the power of discipline. Discipline is one of the most important qualities you can cultivate when striving to live a life that is meaningful and purposeful. It's the difference between having dreams and actually making them a reality. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades, and it helps you stay focused even when distractions and obstacles arise. It's easy to get excited about a new goal, but it takes discipline to push through the tough times, the setbacks, and the days when you'd rather quit. Without discipline, your intentions remain just that, intentions, with no action behind them. To live with intention, you have to develop the discipline to make consistent progress toward your goals. Every day, you have to show up for yourself. You have to commit to the small actions that add up over time. It might be getting up early to exercise, setting aside time every day to work on a personal project, or making the choice to stick to your priorities even when it feels easier to put them off. Discipline isn't about making huge, life-changing decisions all the time. It's about the daily choices you make and the habits you create that move you closer to the life you want to live. It's about understanding that success doesn't happen in a flash. It happens through repetition, hard work, and the ability to stay consistent even when results don't come immediately. Building discipline isn't always easy. It requires creating systems and habits that keep you on track. For instance, you might need to create a schedule that works for you, setting specific times each day to focus on different areas of your life. You may need to eliminate distractions such as turning off your phone or limiting your social media usage so you can give your full attention to your goals. Discipline also means holding yourself accountable. It's easy to say you'll do something, but it's another thing entirely to follow through. When you live intentionally, you must hold yourself to a higher standard. The more you can develop the self-control to follow through with your commitments, the more progress you'll make and the more you'll realize your dreams. But discipline isn't about being rigid or punishing yourself. It's about being intentional with how you spend your time and energy. It's about making sure that every action you take aligns with your goals. Discipline means saying no to the things that distract you or lead you away from your vision. Sometimes that means making sacrifices, whether it's giving up your free time to focus on a project, cutting back on things that aren't serving you, or resisting the urge to procrastinate. But that's the beauty of discipline. It gives you control over your choices. It allows you to direct your energy where it will have the greatest impact. Discipline also means being patient with yourself and the process. When you're committed to a goal, it's easy to get frustrated when progress feels slow, but the disciplined person understands that great things take time. It's about trusting the journey and knowing that small, consistent actions will eventually pay off. It's important to remember that discipline doesn't mean perfection. It's okay to slip up. It's okay to have off days. The key is to get back on track quickly and not let one mistake derail your entire progress. Living with intention doesn't mean living a perfect life. It means living a life where you show up consistently and put in the effort even when things aren't easy. One of the most significant aspects of discipline is developing mental toughness. Life is full of challenges. And to live with intention, you have to be ready to face them head on. Mental toughness allows you to stay focused on your goals despite adversity. It gives you the strength to persevere when things get difficult, and it helps you bounce back after setbacks. Mental toughness is about cultivating resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties. When you live with intention, you understand that obstacles are part of the process. They're not signs to quit. They're opportunities to prove your commitment and your resolve. Creating and maintaining discipline also involves setting realistic expectations for yourself. It's about being honest about what you can accomplish in a given time frame and recognizing that progress may take longer than you expect. Sometimes we're tempted to set ourselves up for failure by being overly ambitious or setting unrealistic timelines. But discipline means understanding your limits and working within them, making incremental progress toward your goals. It's about maintaining consistency without burning yourself out. A disciplined approach involves pacing yourself, ensuring that you make steady progress without sacrificing your well-being or happiness. As you build discipline in your life, it will become easier over time. The more you practice discipline, the more natural it will feel. It will become ingrained in your daily routine, and you will begin to see the positive impact it has on your life. Discipline will not only help you achieve your goals, but also improve your overall quality of life. When you live with discipline, you create a sense of structure, purpose, and order in your life. You don't have to rely on fleeting bursts of motivation to get things done. Instead, you can trust that your disciplined approach will carry you through to success. Ultimately, discipline is about empowering yourself. It's about taking control of your actions, your time, and your energy. It's the fuel that drives your intentional life. When you commit to living with discipline, you create a foundation for lasting success. You stop waiting for motivation to strike and start making progress day by day. Discipline doesn't just help you reach your goals, it helps you become the person you were meant to be. By committing to this practice, you'll realize that you have the power to shape your future. You don't have to wait for circumstances to change. You can create the life you want through consistent effort and intentional choices. Living with intention also requires learning the importance of gratitude in your daily life. Gratitude is a powerful force that not only enhances your outlook on life, but also fuels your journey toward purpose and fulfillment. It's easy to get caught up in what you don't have or what you feel is missing from your life. In a world that constantly promotes bigger, better, and more, it's easy to forget to appreciate the abundance that already surrounds you. But when you take the time to practice gratitude intentionally, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. And that shift has a profound impact on every area of your life. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you for the good things that happen. It's about consciously recognizing the value in every experience, every person, and every moment. The more you practice gratitude, the more you realize how much there is to be thankful for, even in the small, seemingly insignificant things. When you wake up each morning, what's the first thing you think about? Do you immediately focus on what you don't have or what's not going right in your life? Or do you take a moment to appreciate the blessings you already have? Gratitude is a choice. It's a decision to focus on what's good in your life instead of what's wrong. One of the most transformative effects of gratitude is its ability to change your perspective. When you live with intention and practice gratitude, you begin to see the world differently. You stop taking things for granted and start noticing the beauty in the everyday moments. You appreciate the people around you more deeply, recognizing the impact they have on your life. You become more aware of the little things that bring joy. Whether it's a beautiful sunset, a kind word from a friend, or a quiet moment of peace, gratitude opens your eyes to the richness of your life, no matter how simple it may seem on the surface. This shift in perspective is crucial for living a life of intention. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you create a mindset of abundance. An abundant mindset attracts more opportunities, more blessings, and more joy into your life. You begin to attract the things you desire by being grateful for what's already present. It's not about waiting for the next big thing to happen in your life. It's about realizing that your life is already filled with valuable experiences, relationships, and opportunity. Gratitude also helps you cultivate a deeper sense of contentment. When you're constantly chasing after more, it's easy to feel unfulfilled and dissatisfied. But when you take a step back and truly appreciate the things you already have, you create a sense of peace and satisfaction. Contentment doesn't mean you stop striving for your goals or that you settle for less than what you deserve. It means that you find joy in the present moment and acknowledge that you are enough just as you are. When you're content with where you are, you're more likely to pursue your goals with a sense of peace rather than desperation. You realize that your worth isn't tied to what you accomplish or what you possess. It's rooted in who you are. Practicing gratitude also strengthens your resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks. There will be times when things don't go according to plan, and it may feel like everything is falling apart. But when you practice gratitude, you learn to find the silver lining, even in the hardest of times. Gratitude helps you see that even in the midst of difficulties, there are lessons to be learned, opportunities for growth, and things to appreciate. It encourages you to focus on the positive aspects of any situation rather than getting bogged down by negativity. This mindset allows you to bounce back from adversity with greater strength and a clearer sense of purpose. Another key aspect of gratitude is that it fosters deeper connections with others. When you express gratitude toward the people in your life, you strengthen your relationships. Gratitude helps you recognize the efforts and love that others contribute to your life. And when you acknowledge and appreciate those contributions, you build a stronger sense of connection. Relationships thrive when both parties feel valued and appreciated. And gratitude is the key to fostering that mutual respect and understanding. Whether it's a simple thank you for a kind gesture or taking the time to express how much someone means to you, gratitude nurtures the bonds that hold your relationships together. In addition to enhancing your personal relationships, gratitude also improves your overall well-being. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude experience improved mental health, reduced stress, and better sleep. The act of focusing on the positive aspects of life triggers the release of feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which help improve mood and increase feelings of happiness. By practicing gratitude, you're not only enriching your own life, but also contributing to a more positive environment for the people around you. You become a source of light and positivity, which in turn attracts more positivity into your own life. To integrate gratitude into your daily routine, start small. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you're grateful for, whether it's something big or small. It might be as simple as being thankful for a warm cup of coffee in the morning or feeling grateful for a conversation with a friend. You could even keep a gratitude journal where you write down 3 things you're thankful for every day. Over time, you'll notice how your mindset begins to shift and you'll become more attuned to the abundance around you. The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it will become and the more you'll see its impact on your life. Gratitude is a key component of living with intention because it helps you focus on what truly matters. It shifts your attention from the things that don't serve you and directs your energy toward the things that bring you fulfillment. By living with gratitude, you invite more joy, peace, and contentment into your life. It's a powerful tool for transforming your perspective, strengthening your relationships, and cultivating a sense of fulfillment that's rooted in the present moment. When you practice gratitude with intention, you open the door to a life of abundance, connection, and purpose.